And we're live.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 64 of Beyond Retro. I am Joe Amato, and I'm here with Nathan Kennedy, and Tyler Baker will be joining us. He's on his way. He's coming back from the gym, so he's getting all buffed, pumped up, so he can do a lot of flexing and posing on the podcast. And so,
Of course he would.
and how you doing, Nathan? You doing good, man? Let me talk to the fans here. First, let me say hello to Janish and Fedmon in the chat room. Um, we all have our moments when it comes to these podcasts. A while ago I kind of lost it when we were doing the Steven Seagal episode, and I basically said, "That's it, I'm done." And I left that episode. I was kind of angry. It happens, but what the heck, it was still fun to see. Tyler, he hasn't lost it to like how I did yet, but his only moment could be when I'd say Robbie London was on the show for Fans of Power, and when he was interviewing him and he was talking about his work on Diamond Ray Disappearance. You heard that Robbie didn't even like it. He didn't like what was done in the show. And you could see Tyler, it's like his childhood was just crushed. You could see it in his eyes. He didn't want to admit it, but damn it, he looked like, what the hell just happened? And Tyler kept saying, hey, it's celebrated by fans and blah, 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 but it didn't matter. Even though as much as he talked about it, Robbie London was like, nah, still just really didn't care for it.
I think that was my favorite part of that episode. Actually,
it was.
I like seeing the joy sucked away from Tyler.
Oh man, it was just so weird to see. He just looked so heartbroken. And hello, JSP, thank you for joining us. But last night came a moment that I relished.
Wait, no. Before you go into it, all day yesterday, all day. Joe's like, when are you streaming tonight? When you're streaming, you think you could stream between 10 and 11? Yeah, you should do that. You should play Batman Returns. Hence why that's sitting behind him in the background. You should play Batman Returns, man. Or how about Contra or Castlevania? Yeah. You're gonna be terrible at those. Like all day, just all day. I'm like, all right, you know what?
See, I wasn't really hassling like that. I was like, hey, I'd like to see your skills.
Oh.
You're such a great player, Nathan. I would love to see you do Batman Returns and Contra, or one of those. One of those games to where it's
once again, Joe. Once again, audio. You don't even send it in text form. You actually record your voice and message it to me, saying these things.
He's like,
I have the proof.
I'm gonna play it right. So anyways, I was like, I just want to see him play a game that, like unlike Super Mario World, where you can get 5 million lives, and if you screw up, you can go back. I was like, I want to see something. So bam, here comes Donkey Kong Country, but that's no problem. It's still cool. It's like, hey, it'll be fun to see. So of course, nudging him, giving a little, crap last night during the show, and Emily joined.
Crap. Yeah. Come on, Joe. We can say shit on this show, okay?
What's up, Iceman Traveler? So I'm just giving him some shit. And Emily's there too, and they were saying, they were talking about how they met. There was some fun stories, but then came the moment that it was time for Nathan to break down, like I did.
And boy, did it break me.
Like I said, I had my moment where I lost it. Tyler had his heartbroken moment, and then here came Nathan's, to where all I was waiting for was the particular death, and not just a regular death where you die and I'm like, hey Nathan, you suck, but when it's a death that goes to another and another, and then that's it. It's spiraling out of control. The dominoes have fallen, and it's just going to keep continuing. And Nathan just kept dying over and over in the same fight. Even after he got past this one part with the barrel, when he finally, hey, victory, he falls in a hole.
It slid off the edge.
It was a mess.
That happened twice. I'm like, finally, this nightmare is over. And as soon as it lands, I'm so in awe that I did it. And I'm drunk, by the way. We need to specify this, too. I was getting pretty drunk. I went back and watched the Power Rangers that I did after that, and at the beginning, like, all of my words are just kind of slurred, and I'm like, yeah, I was pretty drunk, but I'm like, I did it, but I didn't grab the controller to like hold the run button to like move back, and he just slides off, and that happened twice. I went, and when he says I died over and over and over, that is no exaggeration. I had 28 lives going into that, and I was down to 5. Maybe even 4 when I stopped.
He quits, he stops, and he deletes the podcast. So for you guys who are listening, like, oh man, I'd love to see it. No, Nathan couldn't leave that moment of misery that we could relish for years.
I couldn't. It's just too hard to do, Joe. You would have done the exact same thing.
I was like, hey, man, I lost it. I wanted you to leave it when I freaked out over Seagal and Tyler with this heartbroken moment. I was like, we get to see Nathan just lose his shit live, and also with being drunk. It was so epic, and now nobody could see it, and it was fantastic, and I wish everybody here who hasn't seen it could have, because Fedmon's seen it and said, yep, I saw the podcast, Joe. I could be a witness in court. So, yeah, Fedmon's seen that. at least somebody got to witness. A couple did, but it was. Yeah, it reminds me of like you know when you're gonna lose sometimes in a game when things just go downhill. I don't know if you mentally can psych yourself out, but as for like a fighting game, I remember times when I'd play Street Fighter, and you're beating the piss out of your opponent, and then you get towards the end, you're getting closer towards the end. Let's say you're fighting Sagat, and you beat him in round one really good and well, and here comes round two, and he has just this much left, and you haven't been touched. Then suddenly he gets a hit, then another, and oh my God, I can't get back into the rhythm. And sure enough, you're going to lose. Sure shit, you lose. And I think that's what was happening with Nathan. It was like he was losing, and he was psyched out and drunk, and he was done.
When I went back, I woke up today and started from that save point. Got to that level, passed all that stuff that I couldn't get past last night. My hands were sweating so bad. I put so much pressure on myself. Like, I psyched myself out that much. I was like, I don't know if I'll be able to ever get past this level ever again, drunk or sober.
All I wanted to tell you the whole time, like I said, this is Joe, how rotten I am. I could have easily told him just one thing to do that would have got him right off the level, but I was relishing watching him die. It was such a guilty pleasure of mine.
What part is that?
It's like, okay, when you start the whole barrel thing to go past all those killer bees that you were dying at. All you had was to go down and jump, and there was a low barrel that would have shot you completely past
I'm pretty sure that's in another barrel level, isn't it?
I think that was the one you were at. I almost could certain it was that part right.
You know what? I'll have to like go back to that and try it. Because I know that there is a level that like the barrel's spinning, and if you shoot it downward, then it'll put you past. And that may have been it. Yeah, that may have been it.
And I think it was, but I just, like I said, I was like, I'm not going to tell him because I just want to watch him die. But that was his adventure last night. And, of course, this episode, we're going to be talking about, like, a lot of the great 80s toys, Talkin toys, because it's something that Who Dat Whale, who joined us in the chat room, thank you for joining us, brought up, like, hey, did you guys ever talk about some stuff from the 80s, other toy lines, things you liked, and maybe even some Christmas memories. But with that, I got a couple things. So did Nathan, so did Tyler. And one is from Who Dat Whale, and another is from our buddy Janish. And I haven't opened any of these yet, so I want to do it live.
All right. Well, Joe, while you're kind of fidgeting around with that, what I got from Who Dat Whale, and if you're wondering why you hear like a doo doo, it's because Joe's got that mic's just like up there, and it keeps like.
Sorry, I'm gonna get rid of these. Tonight I'm gonna find another dollar headset. Over there at the Dollar Tree. Pop them in. It'll work good. I even got a new stand for $1 from the Dollar Tree. So this.
You know what would work better, Joe? If you save up those dollars that you're wasting on those and get about 7, then you can go to Walmart and get a set that's gonna be 1,000,000 times better than this.
Well, this is still awesome. So but I got something from Janish. A card, so I'm assuming this is a Christmas card. He said, hey, can I get your address? I was like, nope. That's how I said it in response to, really, I was going to send a card. I was like, okay, if it's just a card, go ahead. But let's see if it's a Christmas card.
Little do you know, it's $500 inside.
I got her. Okay, here, Giannis, you ready? Unlike Nathan, I'm going to attempt to read this in your native tongue, which I will butcher to death. In my cursed feast met zin Allen Bidge Elkar.
Terrible.
No, I know. Fin Faisen gotten Galukik Nirad. I don't know. I'm sorry. Wow. True.
You know what? I thought me wasting so many lives last night on Donkey Kong Country was like the worst thing. That topped it, man. That was bad.
Anyways, he says, have a great time. Greetings from Giannis. So thank you, buddy. I really appreciate it. And he drew a picture of Skeletor and saying the horror. So,
see, I have, let me go.
Thanks a lot, Giannis. This is a cool Christmas card, and I'm always going to keep it. Definitely am not going to get rid of this. And
same here.
Yeah, I knew I'd butcher his.
The inside of mine, though, he drew Toxie. So that's really cool.
All right, cool.
Cool.
And did he say same? Have a great time. Oh, okay, there you go. He said.
Yeah.
All right, and wait a second. I think Tyler has just.
Oh yeah, there he is.
Yes, I'm here.
All right, how's it going, T-Rex? Doing good, man?
I'm doing on top of the world here, gentlemen.
All right, we just started. We just talked about Nathan's horrendous gameplay last night, the embarrassment he did about erasing his video. We went through all that, and then we just started, and I just opened the card from Janish. Then so did Nathan, and I'm sure you got yours to show as well.
I did. Thank you, Giannis. Yes, that was much appreciated. And I also got my package from Michael from Who Dat Whale.
Well, if you want to start, go ahead. Start with your package from Who Dat Whale, and then Nathan will, and then I will.
I got a nice card from him and his boys, and a Blockbuster video membership card there, so I can go and
Oh, that's cool.
rent videos I want. And I got this nice print of He-Man versus Lion.
Oh, that's cool. Who'd you
From him and his
got?
boys there. I don't know whose artwork this is. I'm not familiar with whoever this artist is here who did it back in 2016, but a beautiful piece of art from him and his boys. I'll definitely put this on display. Got to get a good frame for it, but I cannot thank Michael and his boys enough for that. So that's
awesome.
going to go quite nice with the rest of my collection of various living pictures, so to speak, in my He-Man room.
Well, it's cool. You got something that definitely you like to do. I mean, you're always having pictures and everything around you, so adding another one to the wall of Tyler.
I'm almost to the point. Like I told Nathan, like, you know what? I think I'm pretty much, unless there's like new individual figures coming out, I just sort of just devote my time to spending money on just pictures of He-Man merchandise and stuff like that. I'm like, I have more fun looking at artwork anymore of He-Man and Thundercats and stuff than just, buying more stuff to put on the shelves. I don't know.
Well, it does look freaking awesome, though. And hopefully
it does.
he'll say who did that piece, because I'm really intrigued. Either way, it's amazing, but I always like knowing who does this stuff.
Yeah, it definitely has a nice vintage style. Kind of has like a slight Ed McGuinness feel to it as well. So it's a beautiful piece, though. I look forward to getting a frame for it ASAP and putting it on display with Kevin and Axel's artwork.
Well, he did say you're welcome, and he says glad you like it, brother. So there you go. All right, well, Nathan, what did you what did you get from Who Dat Whale?
I got 2 Blockbuster memberships, one for me and one for Emily and the dog, so Jasper can go and rent Air Bud. That's his favorite film of all time.
Oh, man.
And he sent me this Snake Plissken.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, which is badass. Can't wait to take him out, because I'm actually going to, between that and I got a Stuntman Mike and I got a Jack Burton pop and another Snake Plissken, I think I'm just going to have a little, and I also got this guy here in the mail, Jay McGreedy from The Thing. So I think I'm just going to have like a little section dedicated to just Kurt Russell action figures. And I don't know if, all right, I'm not going to risk messing this up. I'll go grab it real quick. It's just right here on the shelf.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, this is where I got lost, Tyler. I didn't know if he was saying this is more from
Joe,
Michael,
you'll be jealous of this one. I don't know. Maybe you got one too. Who
I
knows?
know what he's talking about now. Yeah.
Yeah. Got a Jason Madball.
Oh, that's cool. No, I do have one over there. Maybe he already knew I had something like that, but that is awesome. I love those little suckers too.
Yeah. So thank you, sir. I've already thanked him enough in messages and stuff, but thank you. Definitely appreciate.
That Pliskin figure he got you, is that something that's new, or is it from years ago? I couldn't tell how old it is.
I want to say this is from a couple years back.
Okay. I just know they make so many different things. I was like, was it this year, 2 years ago, 5? I didn't even have a clue.
It actually doesn't. They didn't put a date on the packaging. I want to say it's 2015, 2016, somewhere around there.
Okay. Oh, that's a cool figure. All right, yeah, because, again, he asked me, too, about my address, and now they know. I was like, well, what's this going to be? I just was wanting maybe a Christmas card. He's like, it'd be something small. So then I see a box, and so I'm like, I'm hoping that it's something real cheap in there or small, because I hate things but here.
I hope someone got me something really cheap.
Well, again, I told him I was going to open this live, so this is what I use. I know everybody has fancy knives. I just use a razor blade. And I'm glad you said that you guys got a card, because I was ready to slice right through this. I thought that was just a white label, and I could tell that must be a card then. So I'll just slice. Hold on. Sorry about that. Just want to. Here's the card. Let me slice the box open, but I'm going to look at the card first. I got to make sure not to cut myself. I usually don't cut at myself, but it was the only way I could fit it. Let me set this box down for a second. I see the card. If it's something personal, yeah, I won't read that, Mike. But if it's just a nice greeting, I'll read it, because I know some people don't like, personal things read. But, I might have a second to open that. There we go. I'm getting it. Getting all the tape. I'm almost there. It's like, Joe, you're wasting time. You're killing the air, Joe. Just do it already. I'm like, God, I suck. I really suck at opening. All right.
But between you butchering languages and everything,
I really did. I knew I was
going
to butcher that. Dude? But you know what? That's part of the fun. I knew I was going to butcher the language when I tried to read. But on the front, it says Merry Christmas, has 3 stockings. Hey, I got a Blockbuster. I got a Blockbuster card. Joe Amato, Beyond Retro Warriors. I like it. Like, Joe, Merry Christmas, buddy. Thank you for all the hard work, time, and memories you have shared. The 80s and 90s were a great time, buddy. He said, I bet if we grew up as friends in that time and era, we would have had some great childhood times. Thanks again
Yep,
for
you would have had a nickname like, I don't know. He could have been Scrubbing Bubbles.
I could have been. But he
Yeah.
said, thank you again from me and my boys. And he says, your friend, Who Dat Whale, Michael. And he says, wishing you great joy and New Year filled the hole. Thanks a lot, man. I really appreciate that. And I like this little card, too. Definitely going to keep that. And now let's look in this box. Maybe it'll be a new set of headphones. Would that be something?
No. I mean, actually, that would be cool.
Oh, wait, cool. Hold on a second. Sorry. Oh, that's cool. The DC Primal Age Joker in that vintage style. Oh, man, that's awesome, man. Thanks. And these are the ones I was looking at first at stores, and then realized these are like Amazon exclusives.
Yeah.
So, that's so. But wait, I feel waiting here. Now, Michael, damn it, why'd you do that? Because
Look, it's the Batcave, and you can see Tyler's face just like sinking.
No,
But
just
in a
because
Batman.
Joe's like, no, I'm sure Joe would like destroy it right here live on YouTube. This is too expensive.
I'm about ready to say that now because it's two things, and I don't know what they
he's
cost.
gonna get disgruntled over getting two free figures.
But no, Michael, these are
He's
awesome.
got some nerve doing that for you.
You definitely did not have to do this, but it is very, very appreciated, and thank you to you and your boys. This is awesome, and it means a lot, man. That is cool. But that is a cool looking Batman too, in that vintage He-Man style. So really means a lot, Michael. Thanks a lot, man. I sure wasn't expecting. Yeah, see, you people are too damn nice. God damn it. It's going to go great with the rest of my vintage figures, man. That is so cool. I sure wasn't expecting, but thanks a lot. See, just created an early Christmas memory, something that I can always remember. And thanks, man. I don't know. I was sitting there trying to reflect on
Joe
it.
just starts like crying. on the show.
I was actually trying to think of that. I was like, why is it I don't like gifts? I know everybody always asks me that, and
we're finally gonna get the age old.
I figured you had a reason behind it because you're so adamant about, you want to give me a gift? Right here, buddy. I got you a gift right here. I just figured Joe just gives you like a hearty Italian middle finger.
Well,
It's
two
like
things.
there has to be some sort of disgruntled story behind, Joe getting a wonderful Christmas gift, and he's just and just flips it over, and the tables come over, and Christmas dinner's destroyed, and God knows what else.
It's a combination of like a couple of things. There's the story that Nathan already knows of. I'm sorry, Nathan and Tyler. When I got the Eternia playset, it's just like you said, your parents do everything for you. You don't realize what they sacrifice and how they scrape and save. All our parents do that to try to give us a great Christmas. And things can be rough at times. But I remember getting the Eternia playset. My mom saved up so much, and when I'm opening that, my brothers and sisters had multiple gifts, but their gifts probably totaled would have came up to the price of Eternia itself. So I never thought about, wow, they got tons of gifts and I got one. I'm thinking I have the most epic gift I've ever wanted for that year. And then the doorbell rings. And this is as we're all opening our gifts. I'm already looking at my Eternia playset, putting everything together, and these two people came to the door, and my mom, brought them in, and I was like, who are these? It's some guy and some woman at the time, and they had like bags of food. They had a turkey, and they had stuffing, and they had biscuits and all things for like and I'm sorry, not Thanksgiving, a Christmas like meal. But then there was another bag. She said, Joe, this bag's for you. And I grabbed the bag, and there was more He-Man figures. Now I already had these He-Man figures, but some of my things were beat up, and these were just random figures. And I looked at mine, and I said, why'd I get these? I was like, I already have them. And she had tears in her eyes, and she's like, I didn't want you to have just one gift to open while your brothers and sisters are opening, a bunch of things. I was like, but Mom, it's like, that's, what you asked me I wanted. That's all I needed. I was like, this is great. And, it's just, they're doing nice things, but I remember I felt like, not poor, but like, somebody was handing me more things, like like I was a beggar or I needed stuff, and it made me feel kind of bad, and it's not because of what my mom did. I'm just saying I felt weird that they were given that stuff too. They brought a Christmas meal, but they also brought these gifts, and I felt bad getting them. And then as years went on, I never wanted people to get me lots of stuff. I always said, hey, you could just get me a candy bar for Christmas. For Christmas. I didn't even care if somebody else got something gigantic. I was like, just give me something cheap. And then along the lines, I I know I can't repay people back. I don't have the money.
But that's not the point, though, dude.
I
I
know.
mean,
I feel bad because
that's why I feel like it's just like when I wanted to try and do something for you too, and you told me to take it and shove it up my ass, essentially. It's just people want to do nice things for each other. It's not that's missing the point. If you feel like you got to like, well, Nathan got me a $7 DVD. Well, now I got to get him something of equal value, or
I mean, I understand to a degree where Joe's coming from, because it does, in a way, it kind of does put that bit of pressure on yourself of feeling like you need to give something back to them. But at the same time too, it's just people want to do nice things for people. That's just how it works.
No,
especially when you were a kid feeling like that too. I feel like it seems so unnecessary to carry that burden on you all the time.
But it's also a good thing, Joe, that you felt that way as a kid, because you didn't feel like you had to have the world. You realized what was important to you, and that was like your family and just the company and all of that stuff. So like I like the way that you look at Christmas and gift giving.
No, I mean, I like I said, it's different, and I do appreciate it. I just sometimes I do feel. I know people don't expect it back, but I always feel bad that I can't pay them back, and then it's unfortunate. Everybody has sometimes in their family they might have relatives that do focus on the material stuff. Like I would sometimes when we would get together with like you're seeing all your cousins and everybody for a big thing at their house, and you see them exchanging gifts, and some of these family members are older than me and at the time, and you would see that they're like in their 20s, almost early 30s, and they're getting like coats from their parents, and they're like, wait a second though, his was $350, mine's probably only a $299 one. I've seen this at the store, and I'm thinking, God, you're in your late 20s, 30s, but you're still arguing on price. It's like, what was lost in all this? All I keep saying every year, I've always said from when I was a kid too, I was like, I just want to see my family healthy and happy. That's all that matters to me. It's like, I'm not about that, material. Like, give me the most expensive thing. And when I was seeing them do that, I was like, this is just, to me, it seems so, I don't know, materialized. You know what I mean? It's like, it wasn't about the love and the heart of just enjoying, each other's company and making, thank God they're all alive and healthy. It's like they seemed like they were going for gifts. And it's just, like I said, I was different to how some of them thought. I know they just think about the price of things and values, and that wasn't me. But I'm very thankful though for Michael, Janish, and anybody, Nathan, Tyler, anybody that when you guys would give me something, I am very thankful.
Yeah, and I mean, we're gonna say this right now. If we do send, we do not expect anything in return, and that's like as far as Christmas, like I'm at a point in my life now where I enjoy the part of getting. I like going out and getting what I know is like going to be a really good gift and give it to somebody, because I know just like some of the stuff that I've gotten for Tyler before in the past, he's just like, oh, bro, really? Like just blown away by it. So I like that part of it. But I'm at a point now where I'm like, I don't care. Like people don't have to get me anything. I don't know.
Yeah,
not like that. I like the giving part of it. I don't need
I know what
anything.
you mean. Sometimes you do. It does feel nice to give, and I can understand it. And just like how Tyler said, Joe, we're not expecting you to send something back, because I'm sure you and Tyler, yes, it does feel good. And when I can give something, you're right. I understand it feels good to give something.
How about this? You want to give some return? How about you promote the podcast? That's what we need.
Oh yeah. Wait.
We're not
Hang on.
anything. Promote the podcast. For God's sake, Capes and Commentaries Beyond Retro, do that for us. We'll consider it even there.
Let's talk about this real quick.
God almighty, man.
Marked for Death last week was like sitting at 28 views. I'm like, Joe, can you please promote this? And let's look at the view count on this right now. Marked for Death sitting at 74, went from 28 to 74, all because he made a post. And our Capes and Commentaries yesterday was sitting about 10 views. I'm like, this will probably top out about 20, 25 like the other ones do. Guess what happens? Joe promotes it. We're sitting at 133 right now. And a subscriber count went from like 72 to like 81. So, Joe, come on. You're the magic, all right?
Yeah,
you're the magic.
Can we just send you like an action figure and you just promote, like, just pick a random image of a toy, slap it on your Facebook. Here, my sons, I bequeath to you the blessing of the Amato, and take those precious hands of yours that you customize with, Place it on our foreheads so we be blessed in your.
Blessed be thy El Monterey. Amen.
I will.
Yes.
No, I mean, I'll make sure to always promote all of it. Just sometimes I forget here and there, but yes, I'll always make sure to promote because it's if people haven't seen it, they should.
Joe the whole time has been like, like the channel's gonna grow. It's gonna get there. And then he makes one post, and we've already got like 10 new subscribers.
Yeah, we probably would have gotten there a long time ago. But Joe's like, enough's enough. I
messed it. I was like, we could have been famous by now, Joe. Not really, but
maybe that's what it is. Joe's holding us back.
Yeah,
he doesn't want to share the cult status and have like like we each have our own like denomination of podcasting followers here. Joe wants to be like the monopoly guy of the cult status of podcasting. He doesn't want to share his.
That's why he gives me so much shit on these game streams because it's like
he wants to make you look like you're a moron, and then I'm a big fathead with my ego all the time. So
trying to get the one up on me. I'll show him.
Yeah. Trying to jump on me. It's like Revenge of the Sith toys all over again.
Oh Jesus!
Only Nathan knows that story, so it's just like
a
reference to.
Since we're doing toys, we're doing some toy talk, and we could probably hear from some of you guys in the chat room your thoughts of some Christmas memory toys. You got to tell us what's this Revenge of the Sith.
All right, yeah, we can go ahead and tell the story. So, for whatever reason, we were actually excited about episode 3.
We were holding any hope that the prequels would be salvaged from Revenge of the Sith. So we were hoping to God there would be something like, oh, all right, we get toys, and maybe this movie would finally be good.
Yeah, so they promote it. They're like, here's the day the toys are coming out, Target, Walmart. So there's this big, huge event. There's a tent that's set up outside of Walmart. So they got shit in there, and there's like a cop sitting beside the tent. And we go, and I think I tried to take a peek in it or something, and the cop was like, "Oh, it's not open till tomorrow morning." I'm like, "All right, whatever."
And he was we go Pop-Tarts, like Star Wars Pop-Tarts.
Well, we got to get to the disappointing shit after the beginning of this. So we go into Walmart, and there's actually a decent turnout for this. There's a lot of people, and we're all just waiting. And they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna wheel out pallets out here, and we'll unveil them and whatever." So this poor soul, he comes out with the first pallet, and like they take the cardboard off, and it's the movies, like the original trilogy box set that came out,
special edition crap.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure I yelled, I'm like, "Oh man, we all already got that."
Everyone booed, everyone booed the guy, like not just Nathan, everybody. And he was like, "Oh," like you could tell he was just like, "Oh my god."
Yeah, he's like, "Fuck you guys, you fucking nerds. Go back home. I'm just trying to do my job, So then the rest of them come out, and they actually have the 3 3/4 inch. How tall are those figures?
Yeah,
anyway?
about G.I. Joe size. Yeah,
about G.I. Joe size. So unveil those out, and everyone's just like digging in. So I think we all just grabbed a big handful because it was myself, Tyler, our friend Josh went, and Josh brought. Oh yeah, your brother was there, and then Josh was there, and he brought a couple of his friends. So we just take a bunch of them, throw them in a shopping cart. We pull up another shopping cart beside of it, and we're all just digging through, discarding who we want. So I'm like digging through, and I'm like, "Oh, Mace Windu," and I like toss him.
He's like, "Who put that shit in here?" And everyone just started laughing. And he just threw it off to the side like that in front of everybody. It was so funny.
Yeah, God. So I think we
laughing about that.
We picked out a couple of figures, and at this point, this was a midnight release. By the time we finished with that, it was probably 2 a.m. So they're like the tent. I think the tent opened up at 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. or something. So we all decided. Josh and his friends went their own separate way, but I ended up staying with Tyler at his mom's place, and his brother and I were like, "Well, we'll just stay up." Because that's what we do anyway. We just stay up all night. We can just go. So I'm like, what do you want to do, Derek? And he's like, I don't know. We can watch like some wrestling tapes or something. So there's like WWF Hardcore. We watched that, where it's just like all the best hardcore matches at the time or whatever. And of course, it's about 3 a.m. and Tyler's like, I'm getting really tired, guys. I'm gonna go to bed. So he went upstairs and went to bed, and it was about. Let's say it's about 4:30, 5 a.m. I'm like, let's call his phone and wake him up and tell him that we're already at the store and we got all this stuff. And you just hear him on the phone. He's like, "What? You're trying to get the jump on me?" Like just half asleep, just really just pissed off. And then we go up there and just like we didn't go anywhere. We just prank called him. He's like, "Oh, you bastards!" So he was awake.
I did say you trying to get the jump on me. Like I
Yeah.
was just, oh man, I was so disgruntled and asleep at the same time. Like I was a zombie but pissed off at the same time. Man.
So we make it to Walmart, and the tent is open, and you go inside, and it's just like, here's Star Wars Pop-Tarts and Star Wars Monopoly, and the main thing that we were looking for was the Unleashed figures, which are like those really exaggerated, but they looked really badass.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they had Obi-Wan, Anakin, and General Grievous. I think were the three main ones that were in that line, but nowhere to be found. Now look at Tyler, because he's like looking at something. I don't remember what
I was looking.
it was.
They were doing an homage to the early bird special from 1977. So I was looking at that thing. It was really cool. And Nathan yells, "Put that shit back! We're going to Target!" Just yells it out, and I'm like, so throw it back.
So then we hop in the car, drive like the 2 seconds to Target. We go inside, and they had the Unleashed figures. I think there were a few other things. There's like an exclusive. It was like a
Darth Vader, like lava colored Darth Vader variant, some crap.
Yeah, and I was like, this is fucking dumb. Yeah, you bought that. I
bought it too. I sold it to Matt Bishop for like $20, so I got my money back. So.
But that was basically the story. I think, wasn't it that morning too? We also we got breakfast at Hardee's or something because Josh met up with us, and then that's when we went to all those places. I think I can't remember.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was breakfast, and then we went to those places, and then that was it. But
yeah, I was really
that was
depressed because we spent so much money on all those figures. Like, God, man, they're probably in a landfill somewhere right now. It was just such a waste of money.
Yeah.
Oh. I wouldn't trade the memories for that night for anything, but because of Nathan, screaming and yelling and cussing everybody, and the Star Wars Pop-Tarts.
Star Wars, like what the fuck?
It really was.
The cop was guarding the Pop-Tarts. Jesus.
I know it probably was as epic to Joe because Joe's like, I don't get it.
Like, yeah, I'm holding my hand up like Josh or what? Like,
yeah, he's just like Josh Baskin right now. I don't get what don't you get, Joe?
No,
I don't get it.
No, the memories like that are, like I said, I haven't had too many modern ones beyond all the searches for when I was looking for Simpson horror and some of the He-Man figures and those. But back when I was growing up, though, taking it back to that time with, just going to, it was mainly Kmart. Kmart, there was a place called Cook's that would have He-Man figures as well, and sometimes would go to Toys R Us. Toys R Us actually for He-Man toys when I was growing up back in the day was something I really didn't do much of because it was closer to Kmart and Cook's. But when I would go to Toys R Us, it was like you felt like it was an event, like it was my version of Disney.
We were in the same position too because Les Toys R Us, the closest one was an hour away from me and Nathan, so we were in the same boat as you.
Yeah, I mean, it was like an event. You felt like this is a toy version of Disneyland. You just you walk in there, and that's all you see. You don't have to worry about seeing the clothes or the food section or anything. It's just
all the baby stuff.
Yeah, none of that nonsense. Just
at least not yet.
Yeah, but no, going and anytime seeing a He-Man figure. Oh, and I'm sorry, also the like KB and the Toy Hobby USA that would be in the malls.
What about K&K toys? Did you have that?
No, I did not. I didn't have that.
Nathan, am I remember? Because I remember this KB toys, but I could have swore there was a K&K toys also. It was kind of like a variation of KB toys. Am I?
Where was that at?
In Roanoke.
Dude, going to Roanoke was like a once a year thing for me as a kid, so I don't recall that one at all.
That's one, I don't think we had as well, but I remember just going, yes, it was always the search for the He-Man stuff, and it wasn't that I'd love getting the occasional Thundercat figure, because it was basically just we could have one line, because there was no way I was going to be able to have an entire He-Man section, and Sectars, and Thundercats, or whatever, so we'd get I occasionally would get a Sectar figure, too, which was cool, but I'm hoping somebody here, because you guys might have been too young at the time, maybe somebody in the chat room know, I can only describe this from my memory. I love fantasy stuff, and we know that they had a lot of those not knockoff, we know Remco had things, but I had this one facade. It was like, if my memory serves me correctly, it was gray, and I think it was maybe green or purple. It looked like a skull that went into these pegs of just a front facade that looked like a castle, almost like a knockoff of Castle Grayskull. And I remember that thing would always keep popping off, and I think it was like a snake or a skull that popped on this. And it had these little fantasy figures, and it was like my little like buddies to the He-Man line. I can't remember what that was called though, and I'm just hoping with descriptions, somebody in the chat room or eventually somebody know, or maybe one of you know.
Just make a post about it on Facebook. So, like, and here's going to be like 300 people. Oh, Joe, yes, I know exactly what you're talking
I mean,
about.
I would hope they would, because
even if they don't, they'll just say, "Oh, I had that. I had that, Joe." In fact, I even had the mail away version of that thing that I have no idea what the hell you're talking
when
about.
that's all, that would suck if they say that and they can't. It's like, I'm hoping somebody could help me, because I love that thing. I just don't,
You think Joe would actually do that if they did that? He's like, no, you suck. What? You're wrong. That's not it.
I wouldn't do that, but what I'm hoping is somebody could help me, because it was something I loved. But again, sometimes when you're so young, you can't remember where and how you got everything. I just know.
I do.
Oh, yeah, of course you would.
He knows who the doctor was that slapped him, probably. I mean, Tyler's got that eidetic memory that goes that far back. He knows everything. But
actually, I do know the doctor that slapped me, just because he was my childhood doctor, a weird guy, Dr. Williams. His daughters actually our same age, and we graduated with her. But weird dude. Weird
Williams
guy.
didn't continue to try to slap you on visits, did he? I mean, that would be kind of awkward, taking your temperature, giving you a shot or something, smack you. Like, wait, what's going on here? Why is that happening?
Well, I mean, in regards to taking temperature, Joe, ever since I've been a kid, it's always been a thermometer in the tongue or in the ear. I'm assuming it was a little different for you.
Oh,
huh?
I didn't say it. I'm so old, I had to be up. Yep, thanks. But
Joe's having shots putting his vast wide buttocks.
right. Taking temperature was just putting the lips to the forehead or the back of the hand. Like, yeah, you got 103. It's like you're going to go to the hospital. How did you know that? Like, yeah, we didn't have the thermometers back then. But
that was just their way of easing you when they like shoved the thermometer up your butt to check it.
But no, my toys, like I said, it was He-Man, Thundercats, Sectars. I love Sectars. And there was one time I remember losing my He-Man figures. I used to put them in a brown paper bag. I didn't have the collector cases back then. Shut up. So I didn't have the collector case.
Like Joe's carrying around like a bottle of booze,
It always comes back.
He trips and like the bag like gets a little moist on the bottom because it rained that day. And that's how we lost them all.
Everybody else in the neighborhood has the nice cases. I got a brown bag. But no, I put them in a brown bag, and when I'd go over my buddy sometimes, that's what I'd take. Somehow, through whatever happening, I lost them. I didn't know what was going on. I was upstairs looking everywhere. I could not find these.
Your friend's dad accidentally took it to work because it was supposed to be in a sandwich.
3 months later, I found them. And this was after I lost them. My parents, just to make me happy, got me some Star Wars figures just to calm me down, which I just hated them. I was like, God, these are small. They're not big. They're not muscular. I don't like them. But I had them. Whatever. Went downstairs with my mom into the basement, which I was petrified of the basement.
So, Joe, you weren't grateful for the Star Wars gift?
Wait, what's that?
Clearly, we just found out that Joe has just been lying to us here. He's clearly not as grateful for everything that he ever received there.
Well, there you go. See, but no, this was God. I mean, this was.
We need to send Joe some Revenge of the Sith figures. That's what we need to send Joe. Oh my God, his figures suck. They're not big, and they're from a shitty movie.
Yeah, but this was pre-Eternia times, So, but anyway, so we were going down the basement. I was going through for the laundry, and on the stoop, there was a brown bag there that had a bunch of Buckeyes, because I was obsessed on collecting just Buckeyes outside, and they would get rotten, but I don't know why. I like collecting rotten. Just shut up. So I like collecting Buckeyes, and I put them in a bag, and I had a big bag of Buckeyes, and next to the brown bag of Buckeyes was another brown bag. And that was my. Shut up, Nathan.
Each week I'm just sitting here. I'm like, how's he gonna top himself?
Well, I mean,
how do we top ourselves from King Coupon? Rotten Buckeyes.
Well, I'm sure I'm not the only person that maybe just would collect,
I kind of feel like you are.
Anyway,
continue.
I like the Buckeyes, but anyways, that's when something happened, and I just must have got confused, and my mind shut down, and I thought I had a couple bags of Buckeyes, but one was the Buckeyes, the others, and man, I was freaking out, screaming, and celebrating, and from that day forward, never put them in a brown bag again. So, whew, that was a breath. I might have to pass this one, but yeah, that's what happened. It was all because of
Joe, why didn't you, if there was a tendency to be multiple brown paper bags in your home, with items inside. Why didn't you just write He-Man figures on it or something?
Well, I mean, I never thought ahead. I didn't think of that. I like writing things on stuff, so that's it. It was just put them in a bag, bam. But that's what happened, and that's why I never went down. Is like I would never go downstairs in the basement too much because I was petrified of it, unless my mom wanted me to help, like doing something with laundry once in a while, carrying stuff, and that's why I seen it. So since I didn't go to the basement a lot, that's how they got confused with the Buckeyes. No, not Bug Eyes, nor Buckeyes, but Buckeye. You know those, because Fedmon's asking. The Ohio State Buckeyes or something. A Buckeye. And I think you guys know what I'm talking about. I just collect them. Well, Fedmon didn't know.
I thought you meant like something you found in your yard, like it fell off a tree or something like
yes,
that.
Yes, it is. Yeah, it was.
So why? Well, then you said Ohio State Buckeyes. I'm like, wait, what?
Well, that's because like Ohio State, like they do the thing with their helmets where there's a Buckeye sticker that's put on there if they make like a good play or a good hit and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Tyler's like, what?
Yeah, I was just letting him know in case he didn't know what a Buckeye was.
I don't get it.
And they made chocolate peanut butter ones you could eat. But yeah, I used to collect those things. I thought they were so cool. Shut up. So I thought they were cool. See if Emily could, oh, hey, that's the other thing. I just want to say real quick. See, since Nathan deleted that entire stream last night of that video and everything and talking about memories and stuff, I think the other reason he deleted that video was evidence, because Emily said she'd be happy to like bake me some like cookies or some food and like send it in the mail to me. And
except food too.
Yeah,
no problem except food.
I don't. That's the one thing I'll gladly take. But so that evidence is gone. So only Emily could like confirm that.
You know what, Joe? She'll bake you something and we'll mail it to you.
I'd love that.
I'll make sure to go dig some dog turds out of the yard, and we can like. Those are chocolate chips.
Chocolate chips.
Chocolate chips, Joe. They're chocolate chips.
Yeah, I'll eat them live under my mask.
These are fucking terrible. This tastes like shit.
Nathan, I found it. It was over there at Target. So I got.
Oh hell yeah! So now Tyler's the only one that doesn't have that shirt. Cool.
Okay. Well, I'll pass it to either you or Tyler to start yakking, because I think I yacked enough with some of my memories.
Yeah, Tyler, let's go ahead and pass it on to you. Because I put in the thing like Christmas mornings. Are there any Christmas mornings? I know you have some He-Man related ones. Are there other ones, like other properties, Christmas mornings, things you remember, stuff you were excited about that you received?
Yeah, I mean, 87 was the He-Man one, but also that's when I got the real Ghostbusters, all four, Ecto 1, the plush Stay-Puft Marshmallow Man. The following Christmas is when I would discover Turtles, Christmas '88, when I got a lot of Willow action figures and got my first Ninja Turtle figure, the VHS tape, the first 2 episodes. Getting the New Adventures Power Sword and the dress-up outfit from New Adventures, that was big. Another Christmas of Turtle action figures. Getting a lot of superhero stuff. One particular Christmas where we got me and my brother each got I got a Wolverine poster. He got an X-Men poster. We got Marvel Masterpieces trading cards and various other action figures and stuff. I do remember one particular Christmas, like when Space Jam came out. That was around the time where my brother still believed in Santa Claus, and I was already aware because basically like morons at school like to sit there, because they have a disgruntled family, they like to come to school and start talking. You start kind of wondering, I think they might be right. So at that point, I already knew there was no Santa Claus, but I went along with it, and because of that, I got presents from Santa and from my parents. So I remember getting like a lot of the Space Jam figures and getting Point Break as a gift from Santa. I'm like, I got a rated R movie from Santa. Hell yeah, man!
That's cool.
I was like, this is great, man. So that was another fun one too. But those several Christmases, were and when I got Power Rangers, that was the one year I actually requested Power Rangers. That was another big one too, because that was that first year they came out and they were extremely hard to find. That was another fun one too. But that Christmas 87, 88, and I think around the early 90s too is when me and my brother got a lot of the WWF Hasbro action figures as well. Like my babysitter had gotten us each one. My granny got us. She got me the Demolition 2-pack. She got my brother the Bushwhackers and this generic wrestling ring that was advertised to work with WWF, WCW, and Rimco wrestling figures. And I found it on eBay for like $300, mint in box. Jeez. It's a really hard, it's an obscure wrestling ring, but it came with sound effects on the side of the ring.
That's
and it had punching sounds, mat slamming sounds, a ring the bell, a pin count, and winner and new champion. And the ring, we got used so much, like the ropes got messed up, the turnbuckles got messed up. So we just had the ring itself with no ropes. And there were some scuff marks from playing with it. So at that point, me and my brother had seen Bloodsport. So I used it as a Kumite mat and made it look like the marks on there were blood stains on the Kumite mat. So with my G.I. Joes, I was reenacting Bloodsport with that wrestling ring. So that was a lot of fun. But that Christmas '87, I've said it before on the podcast multiple times over the years, because that was the year I got the original lineup of He-Man action figures and the real Ghostbusters. And that was, I think, the first year I really understood the concept of Santa and woke up consecutive mornings running back to our Christmas tree wanting to know if Santa had come back. There's actually pictures of me, and I've got one of them around where I'm in a T-shirt and little white underwear, grabbing a hold of picking up the He-Man figures, looking at them, and I got the staple-up marshmallow next to me. I got a Ghostbusters calendar, like a fold-out calendar, and a little story sticker book.
You gotta post that picture. Sounds awesome.
Yeah, I've got it around here somewhere too. But there was quite a few pictures from that one Christmas, though. But those early Christmases with He-Man, Turtles, New Adventures, wrestling, and Marvel superheroes, man, that was and it was just real magical Christmases. It really was, and I reminisce about it a lot, and. It's always fun to hear people getting their, G.I. Joes, their Turtles, Batman figures, and He-Man figures, Thundercats. Never got any Thundercats for Christmas. I really wish I had.
No Eternia playset either, huh?
I wasn't even aware that was even around until I started looking at toy guides. I just even when I saw that in the Powers of Grayskull mini comic, I just thought, what the hell is this? Like I thought it was cool, but I didn't know what it was.
The elusive Eternia playset, Tyler.
Boy, you trying to rub salt in the wounds or something? Is this rotten? I'm going to say,
I've really come to terms that I will never own a piece of that playset. I mean, it's just I've essentially just kind of like, you know what, I'm content. I like a buddy like Matt Sterner, my buddy Matt Sterner, who has like pieces of it on display. I'm like, you know what, it's just really cool to like see some of it in person. I've come to terms with the fact I will never own Grayskull Tower, Viper Tower, Central Tower, the turret, the battle tram, any of it. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm okay with that.
He's like, one day he'll get a chain from just something from one of the pieces of the accessory. Like, here, you got a chain. He's like, well, that's great.
I'd be happy with the flag, like the flag that hangs on top of like Central Tower. Just something,
Yeah,
or you know what? I would even be content if I could actually see one complete in person and be able to personally look.
Can I actually look at? Can I touch it? Can I look at it?
I am just that like it's just that there's a bunch of other play sets too. Like I would love to see the Sectar's Hive play set. I have seen the Cat Slayer play set in person. It's a beautiful play set.
That Hive is gigantic. That's the one. Yeah. Again, I didn't have the Hive. I had some Sectar's figures, but my God, my buddy had that. It was. I mean, you think Eternia was big. It was so massive, but. Whew, yeah, that would be an awesome one. I wanted to say one thing when you're talking about wrestling and getting that wrestling ring. It made me think of something at school. We had our invention day where we're supposed to take something at home, invent it, bring it in to class, whatever. I made a wrestling ring for the little muscle wrestlers back in the day.
Didn't they have a ring though?
They might have, but I made a ring for them. So I think they did, but I had to make my
corkscrew and some tinfoil.
Well, I remember I had cardboard, real thick cardboard stock, and using staples and then a nail in one part because I had to have a little wood around the corner posts. And I remember painting it red and blue. And with the posts, I took like these rubber bands that I put around it to make the ring ropes. I came to school, had it all set, was ready to show the teacher how the wrestlers worked. I didn't bring the wrestlers in. I was like, can I go back home? I said, it's only 2 minutes away. It's right across the street.
My brown paper bag.
I felt like an idiot. And she's like, you can't do it. I said, well, hold on a second. And I looked at my desk, and I used to have some like Voltron like erasers and pencil sharpeners, and I took the heads from them, and I was using the heads to bounce off the ropes to show her how the wrestlers work. I felt so damn stupid.
Did you get an F?
No, I didn't get an F. I can't remember.
So, Joe, go sit down. You failed.
Yeah, sit down with your moronic ring. But my buddy liked it so much that he gave me $15 for it. So it's the first thing I made and sold. So
and that's where the seed of customs, got planted.
And now his buddy's just like squatting on it, just like one day this is Joe's first custom. It's gonna go for like $3.5 million or some shit.
They're
gonna advertise on eBay. It's like when they advertised the Action Comics #1. Joe's wrestling ring. You know, they're gonna be advertising the hell out of it. People will be coming from all over the world to get that ring.
Yeah, news coverage and everything. It's like, we can't believe this. It's been unearthed after all this time.
It's strange how you do stuff without even knowing it, and bam, it is weird. You fast forward these, years later, and that is what I'm doing for a living. But that is, I guess, the first custom I made, and I still see him on Facebook. I should ask him. I'm gonna send him a message, see if he still has that ring, because I would.
Hey, can I have that back?
You can't have that back. Oh, that would be awesome. But I had to bring it up. Just something random. But now
I can't believe he paid you $15 for that.
Where does a kid at that age have $15?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He was one of the kids that did have the money. That's one of those. Sometimes he'd have those like special little pizzas that I would get to, and he would give me a whole pizza instead of me not giving him a half of my pizza. I'd get the cheap ones, and then he had these good fudge sickles too. So, yeah. Well, I have a memory.
Now, are these fudge sickles like packed away? These are from the lunches that you're eating from everyone else.
No, not when I'd steal a lunch, but I mean, his mom would just. His mom packed the freezer with all sorts of stuff, so I remember always the fudgesicles there.
Oh, so it's when you would go to his house or something.
Yeah,
I picture like Joe ate like a knockoff version called Sludge Sickle or something like that. You know, just like, it wasn't actually bicycle.
Yeah, sitting there
just like dripping like frozen sludge on the stick. You're like, oh, this is great, man.
Oh god. Okay, Nathan, what's some of your stuff? Go ahead.
Honestly, I'm not going to be like Tyler. I don't remember the years, but I'm pretty sure the same Christmas, Tyler and I both got the Ghostbusters, the Ecto-1. I got the Stay Puft, and I got the Firehouse playset, which still have to this day, still have the box for it, and the box of the Ecto-1.
See, Nathan just always manages to one-up me on my stories or whatever it is that I got. He's because
and then I want to say... I want to say Christmas '88 was probably, I would say probably Ninja Turtle heavy. Maybe I'm trying to think of when I got Pee Wee's Playhouse. And
that probably would have been '88. I would say '88 or '89 probably.
Yeah, one of those years I got the Playhouse, but I also got all the figures from that line too. Which
he
was
still got
really
those
cool.
too, and it's tremendous.
Yeah, I still got all that. I don't have the box to the Playhouse. I don't think anyway, but Tyler saw it when I put it on display. When I was still at my parents' that one time.
Real quick, somebody had a question. The Toast Pony, who just joined us in the chat room, said, "My Little Ponies. When did you get those?"
That was Christmas, probably '93.
Okay.
That was a good year.
Cool. I figured it was.
I love you, honey. Thanks for popping in and doing that. That's good.
Oh, is that who it is?
Yeah. Yeah, that's.
I thought it was like Nathan. Who in the chat room are you calling honey? There, something else going on?
That's Emily in the chat. So
everyone
say hello. The Toasty Pony.
The Toasty Pony. Where's she at? Is she just sitting in the other room, or is she?
No, she's at work. Which is
I wonder if she's been listening the whole time, and how I was commending her on her great baking skills, and seeing if maybe there'd be some special.
Oh yeah, we have to send Joe some dog shit cookies at some point. So it's better. We'll get working on that this week for you, buddy.
There was the other thing I wanted to go back to the year with that Eternia. Then when I was home and my dad and we were all opening gifts there, that was also the year he got me a bike, but I didn't know he got me a bike. I had this bike that the handlebars, like when you'd start riding, if I hit a curb, they just went forward. They always went loose, and I'd almost flip over the bike, and I had to yank them back up, and then I would try to tighten them, and it never worked. So it was eventually I was just going to be in a bad accident. Well, we're opening gifts and presents. He's like, "Hey Joe, could you throw it away in that trash in the kitchen?" I was like, "Okay," so I threw it away. And again and again, it went on for at least 10 times, and he was getting slower when he'd say it. Throw away the trash. Make sure you get it in the garbage. I didn't get what he was talking about until finally he said, "Would you just look when you're doing it?" And I looked, and my bike that always sat next to the trash. Shut up, Nathan. My bike that sat next to the trash.
I didn't even say anything.
No, you're going to. Was a new bike, but it was it's almost the same model and look and design. But me, just like boom, talk about tunnel vision. Wasn't even paying attention. Got that. I didn't even expect a bike. I didn't even remember asking for a bike, but I got that bike, and that was so
That's cool.
It was. And the other thing, it might have been just a year or two later, when of course, your parents are gonna ask you what you want, and it's like I wanted a Sega Master System. I just thought it'd be cool because I love Nintendo. I wanted Sega at the time, and we opened all the gifts around Christmas. and didn't get a Sega, but I figured, well, just didn't get a Sega. No big deal. And he was like, you got everything? I was like, yeah. He was like, what about it over there? Just like on that Christmas Carol
Story.
movie. Yep, just like, oh, I'm sorry, Christmas Story. Yep, just like that. I don't even know if it was intentional from him seeing that or if he didn't even see it, but he was like, under the TV. I was like, there's nothing under the TV. He's like, under the TV. He took a blanket to where there was the TV and the TV stand, and the TV stand you can normally see under. Well, there was a blanket covering, so I went and I lifted up the blanket. There was the Sega Master System, and I just lost my shit. That was so damn cool. So, yeah, again, more of the stuff our parents do for us, but that was a fun, memorable one as well, was having the Sega Master System without even thinking it was going to be there. So that was a cool one.
I have a similar story. I want to say I told this last year when we were doing Christmas-themed episodes, but I wanted an N64 and open up all the presents, same as you, Joe. I'm like, all right, well, just no N64. Go to my grandparents, go to my other set of grandparents, come home, and I go into my room, and my entertainment center had a little door that I always kept all of my controllers in. And I open it up, and there's 2 presents in there. And I was like, all right. And I open one up, and it's WCW versus NWO World Tour. Open up the next one. I think it's San Francisco Rush. Run into the living room. My dad's sitting on the couch, and right there in front of the tree is just an N64. And I was like, you got it. How did you do this? When did you? How did you find the time to? Because I could not remember a point in time where I'm like, I left my room and he snuck in there and threw those in there. There was no point during the day, and I was with him for the rest of it. So I don't know how it happened, but that was a memorable Christmas. So he always has a tendency to surprise me like that, but he also has a tendency to surprise me with terrible
gag gifts.
It's usually I hated
movie.
I hated Vin Diesel a long time ago, and Dad would get me that. One year there was a Ghost Rider, and he's just like, it's funny. There's actually a picture of me holding Ghost Rider. And,
we need to see that picture.
Oh, it's on my Facebook. And I'm just like this, and Dad, he's like, like pointing at it and laughing.
I love the gag gifts, like you said, or things you wouldn't expect. I do remember the year when I got Dragon Walker, but we were always allowed to open one present Christmas Eve. That's it, just one. And my dad gave me this little package to open it, and it was just a pack of batteries. And I felt so mad. I was like, batteries? Like, yep, that says like batteries. I just kept saying over and over, didn't understand. And of course, next morning, open Dragon Walker, and then when boom, you put in the batteries. But yeah, that was my thing. So it was, the way they could tease us was so great.
I was able to open up one gift on one Christmas Eve. Actually, it was Christmas '87, and because my mom was babysitting me when my parents were out Christmas shopping, and I saw the presents underneath the tree there, and I was just overwhelmed. Like, I really want to open a present. She's like, all right, get open one, and it was Chuck Norris Karate Commandos, and it was, oh my God, I was so overwhelmed with joy. And that night, I got 2 more of those and the Commando action figure, the Arnold one. So I got all of that night. And the next morning is when I got all the He-Man figures and Ghostbusters too. So that was, and then I think one other year when the Sleepy Hollow figures from McFarlane came out, me and my brother were all about it. We got to have them, and my dad let us open up one figure underneath the tree before Christmas Eve, and I think we each ended up opening it like the Headless Horseman, and he ended up getting us like Ichabod, the Crone, and the deluxe like Headless Horseman. Probably one of the only few times anything ever got opened before like the big Christmas Day thing.
That was pretty big, wasn't it? That Headless Horseman one, the deluxe, that was a big set.
Yeah, it came with the Tree of the Dead, the Horseman, and Daredevil as horse.
You still have it?
It's packed away somewhere because I held on to all those for so long, but I have no idea where they're at, though. Because I had it on display for such a long time, but I don't have it on display or don't know where it's at right now.
I never got to open anything on Christmas Eve. Like, my parents were very adamant of you can't open anything until Christmas morning. So that was always a bummer. But did you guys ever experience like thinking that you heard Santa Claus? Like, cause
are you serious?
I'd be laying there in bed and I'd just be like, that sounded like bells jingling or something. I would like sneak in, and it would just be really dark at our old house. I remember it vividly, and I would try because we had like the big huge vent that was in the floor for like the furnace, So I'd have to walk around that because I knew if it made a loud enough noise, my parents would wake up and probably get mad at me. So I would like sneak around that, and I would just like peek into the living room, and I would see like some extra shit under the tree, and I would get like really excited and go lay back in bed. I could never sleep Christmas Eve, never could. I was always terrible about that as a kid.
It was. I mean, it was such a great feeling because it's like, okay, you got to go to bed because Santa's gonna come, but you got to be sleeping. And you remember going to bed. There's nothing under the tree, and to wake up, it was magical. It's just having the lights on, all the presents under there. But before my parents got divorced, that is a vivid memory. I remember because your imagination runs wild. I thought I heard reindeer on the roof. And I remember my parents. I went there. I was like, "Mom, Dad," I said, "I heard reindeer. I heard reindeer." They said, "That you did?" I said, "Okay, go back to sleep, Joey." And then years later, they mocked me because they were just laughing. They said, "Oh God, we were just laughing when you left." Oh, this kid.
There was actually a girl that I was friends with when we were kids. Her dad actually went up on the roof and moved around.
Oh wow!
The dedication was there. But thinking about it now, I was like, man, because they would always and I never slept with my door closed. It was always open, but conveniently, my door was usually shut on Christmas Eve. So all those noises I was probably hearing was my dad probably fumbling around trying to put shit together. Yeah. That's just funny to think about.
At least your friend or whatever didn't have that disaster story. Remember in Gremlins when she had to tell the story about her dad dying and being stuck in the chimney. And I was like, good Lord, you just turned this into the most depressing movie in history with that story. Thanks a lot. That's what
and I'm sure that there are like legit stories that are out there. Like, this person tried to come down the chimney and got stuck and died. It's like, wow, terrible way to go.
That would be. But yeah, man, there was a lot of good ones. Like I said, a lot of amazing memories. I couldn't think of anything too much more obscure of all the other crazy things I said. I just remember getting a little set of drums one year, driving my parents crazy because I was doing it early and I couldn't play the drums. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just making noise.
I think that's the best gift. Like if you're buying something for a niece or nephew, get them a drum set because they'll drive their parents nuts. So Tyler, you need to do that for your nephew when he gets a little bit older.
That. I have more dignified taste for Brian. I'm not going to ensure that boy is introduced to anything but just generic garbage that you're like.
What's wrong with the drum set?
I'm not going to get him a drum set. This boy needs to know action figures or a basketball or a soccer set or something that a Nerf gun. But a drum set, no.
But then he could become a really good drummer and be in a famous band and make a shitload of money that you could reap the benefits from.
I'm going to put you both in a situation right now because it's something that I used to fantasize about, and I know you both did. But now you might as well say what you do.
You sure about that?
I'm going to put it with you first, Tyler.
You also said we went out and collected Buckeyes too.
You got 5 minutes, and you just won a Toys R Us shopping spree. Put it back in a year and a time that you want, and how nuts would you go in 5 minutes? Just go.
Tyler, you go first. I'm going to think.
Yeah.
I would definitely be 87 because He-Man's still on the shelves, Thundercats on the shelves, Brave Stars on the shelves, Bionic 6, Silverhawks, G.I. Joe, Transformers. I just would just pack it up. Like one buggy's full with He-Man figures. One of every figure, or two of every figure, so that we can leave one on card. One of every vehicle, every play set. Thundercats, Silverhawks, G.I. Joe, Brave Star, Bionic 6, all of that. I'd even get one of those electronic football games or like the magnetic pieces. I just thought those things looked so cool. I had no idea how it worked as a kid. But when I was
it's honestly really just bad. Like you set everybody up and you switch it on and it just the whole thing just vibrates and everyone's just like bouncing up and down. Everyone's falling over. I'm like, this is pointless. I never liked those.
When I saw that because the pictures looked like seeing like the Redskins playing the Cowboys. Like how does it work? And when I found out years later as an adult, I'm like, that's it. They just vibrate on the field and they don't do anything, but that would have been it. And a lot of the board games like Mousetrap and stuff like that too. That was fascinating to me. So it'd have been like that VHS tapes, because I'm sure Toys R Us probably back then was probably selling like He-Man and She-Ra VHS tapes, G.I. Joe, Thundercats. That would have filled up my my car. So I'd have gone to 87.
All right. What about you, Nathan?
I would probably go with. I think I'm gonna go. I guess I'll go 89 because I was kind of debating like video game wise, would I want more Super Nintendo stuff or original NES? I'm gonna go with 89. That way, I could get the Nintendo, I could get Genesis, get Rob the Robot, get all the accessories, get all of those old games. But then 89 is a sweet spot for Turtles, and then there's still going to be some spaces on the pegs for your He-Mans and Transformers and all that. So that's probably what I would do. But I think I would honestly probably focus more on video games, because once I got that original Nintendo Christmas '89, it was kind of all over from there. Like, I would still get action figures, but video games started to become my main focus after that. So I go with 89.
And that's what happened to me once the video games came and I was done with the He-Mans. Like the thing, I already know I had it all, so I guess I wouldn't go back to do that. But it is the video game, especially after you'd see like that Video Power show where I wanted to choke those people who would go through at the end of the arcade. And was like, how did you end up with 3 games? How is that possible with all the Velcro and just you holding? You had 3 games after that? So I used to just fantasize about, oh man, especially if I went to Toys R Us. But what was cool about them was it wasn't just games that'd be out. They had those pieces of those insert papers.
Those tickets that you'd have to take up to the front. I
always envisioned running by going and just throwing them all in the cart, just tons of papers, then grabbing systems if they'd be out, because they had the paper ones too. But I just think, oh my grab, I would just grab every Master System, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Genesis, and Turbo Graphics. And if at the time with 3DO, I was like, I would have went insane. I would have loved to fill that cart, and because you're thinking you just have 5 minutes. And since I never knew the rules, I wondered, well, what if you filled one cart? Could you take it back and get another, or do they just?
Yeah, it would be like supermarket sweep, man.
Oh, I remember supermarket.
Just multiple carts. That's the thing. We got to get that guy to host it when we do it.
Yeah, oh man, but that was always my fantasy. It was like I would grab every single video game thing imaginable just to load up and just try. God, could you imagine you'd bankrupt Toys R Us? I mean, my God, with those games being $50 to some of the systems being $80 for the video games for the systems, some would be those Super Nintendo $79 games. So. Oh man, you could just have thousands of dollars worth of stuff. But
isn't it weird, like how those games were priced $60 to $80, and the systems themselves were only about $150? It's kind of nuts to think about.
It's crazy because the usual price on the games, like you had your standard $49. Then there was some good priced ones at $29, $39. Then they'd have on sale $14 or $19. But yeah, Super Nintendo. I remember some of those big, powerful cartridges or big name brand games. They were like $79, almost $69, $70. I was like, God. And I think the most I ever paid for a game was I think I saved up for Phantasy Star 4, maybe. I can't remember if that was a $99 game. I think it was $99. I'm wondering if my memory serves me correctly. But yeah, that was at the time when I did the software etc. job and other stuff at saving up. But yeah, there were some pricey ones. But.
Now, did you guys ever get like the Sears catalog or like Finger Hut magazine, and you go through and find the toy section or the video games, and you would circle everything that you wanted? I always did that because I would do that and then like take it to mom, and I'm like, that's what I want for Christmas.
And everything was circled from Nathan. It's like, Mom, I want everything that's on these 7 pages right there. Go. That's probably Nathan. Like, I have it all circled.
Yeah. God. I miss the magazines. I actually it might be here, or I may have left it at my parents', but we came across, I want to say it was a Sears catalog from like 1992, and it's so neat to flip through and just like, this is what was really popular at the time. This was what was coming out, and to look at the prices of those games, I was like, wow, I didn't realize that they were that expensive at the time.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
The prices, I couldn't even remember how much that. Like some of the things were like adapters for like the Sega Genesis, Sega CD. You could eventually get the 32X. So it says now I can turn it into a 32-bit machine, which really didn't. That 32X was a disaster. But I remember it underperformed so horribly that they sold it almost for nothing. Just like that Virtual Boy. I remember going in to see that on a demo. And my eyes were hurt. I was like, what the hell am I even looking at through that Nintendo Virtual Boy? That thing I think that was I don't know.
I remember doing that too. I went to Hills department store and they had it set up. I'm like, oh, this will be neat. And I think it was just the tennis game that they had on there. And I'm like,
Mario Tennis or whatever.
Yeah, I was like, this sucks. Like, and it's just red.
It hurt my eyes. Tyler, did you ever see that Virtual Boy in action?
Yeah, I went to the same hills Nathan did, and I would play whatever demos they had on there, and it was just kind of cool to try it. But it was like, this is not something I would request for Christmas or birthday or even period for that matter. I
wish I would have grabbed one when it was on clearance when they were just fire selling those things off, because it is a neat like display piece, but not much else.
Same thing for Rob the Robot. I mean, it didn't really serve a purpose on Gyromite or something. I couldn't remember.
Yeah, it's Gyromite, and I can't remember the other game. But yeah, I got one. He makes a really cool display piece, but I have no desire to actually use him with the games at all. Same thing with the Power Glove. Like, cool.
That's just a cool display piece. That's really
cool display piece. Nothing else.
Yeah, oh god. It looks so cool in the Wizard, though. It did. It was like, damn, this thing looks awesome. And it was like, wow, this sucks. As we did with that, little meme we made with you in a picture. So,
yep.
Yeah, it was bad. But
God, the Wizard episode was that was what, like episode 7
4
or 8
5. It was
4. Yeah, it was it was early. Here we are, episode 64. Jesus.
Yeah, Jesus, about a year ago. That's crazy. But it's been fun, and Who Dat Whale, thank you for suggesting it, because it's it's always fun to reminisce, just Christmas memories, regular memories on toys. But yeah, it's something it was good to do, because I know a while back we did one where we're reflecting on things we'd like to see made, from back then. Now, like bring back Silverhawks, bring back, as you guys were talking about, Cops, or bring back something else in action figure form would be cool. But yeah, we had to do some reminiscing. I never did.
Yeah, I don't think. I think Cops is just there's no way. I don't think they would ever like remake that or redo that.
No, because it has too much guts to it.
Yeah.
Everything's pussified now. Kids don't want to see cool villains and heroes with guns and stuff. No, it's all about little pixelated nonsense chibi stuff, and like, what the hell do you do with this?
I bet you people want some new modernized figures. I couldn't believe the response. Yeah. Posted that picture. They were going nuts. I was like, God, they're going insane about Cops. So maybe they like toys. Maybe.
I mean, that's the thing. I wonder if people responded because of the toys. Because Joe posted a picture of the toys, and like, even though we're talking about the cartoon, like, that's where I'm like, one of those things. Are they excited, like, interested in the cartoon as well? Because to me, it's a complete package, and most of these cartoons. It's like Joe loves Dungeons and Dragons. I don't know if Joe loves the toys as much.
No, I agree. I didn't play the. My buddy was real hardcore into D&D, but
not. I meant like the cartoon and the action figures is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the combination of the cartoon and the toys that would or comment or vice versa.
Well, it would
be Cops to me, like the toys and the cartoon. I mean, that they are one complete package. Well, like, it's awesome.
Yeah, Dungeons and Dragons, the cartoon. We never got toys based off of that cartoon.
No, but I mean, like the toys though that did come out, because I know a couple of characters in the toy line did show up in the show though.
Yeah, I still have them. I'd have to move around, but I think I have him. Damn it! I think I have him right around me.
Isn't it funny how Joe looks like, you know what? I might actually have that right here.
Yeah, it's Keely.
Yeah.
So I do have. Oh, and they talk about some more good. I mean, look at the beautiful box. I mean, the card art on the back. That is.
Yeah, that's stunning, man.
Yeah. So I always wish they would have made figures based off of the cartoon. But yeah, I know they had. It's like you said, different entities. They had the games along with these kind of figures, and then they had the cartoon, which was just completely different. But you're right, some appeared in there. I think even Warduke appeared in an episode of the cartoon. I think I might be wrong, but yeah, damn. Now I'm looking at this shit. Now it's like,
well, I think it would be cool if we got classics versions of all of these older toy lines. It would be cool if they redid them just to, hey, let's give it to the people. Like, you don't have to put them in stores, just make them online. I'll pay money.
I don't know why they just want to keep recycling the same stuff over and over and over and over again. You kind of feel like, we can only go so far with some of the stuff. Like, why not go back to Supernaturals, go back to Bravestar, Bionic 6, Silverhawks, Sectars. I mean, I know they've done some Kickstarter stuff here and there, but I mean like an actual legitimate online subscription or something that you could sign up for and really push this stuff again. I mean,
sure.
The Rock Lords, the GoBot spinoff, Inhumanoids, Centurions, all that stuff I feel like deserves to be masked. All that stuff I kind of feel like it deserves to be recognized again. I'm not saying they have to go all out, because obviously as much as fans will sit there and say, I'd love to have it, they're still obscure to where like they can say they want it, but not as many people are actually going to sign up and do it.
Right.
But
with
I
the collector lines, you're right. They do work. I mean, it's well, obviously we've seen with Masters all these years, but there's other companies that have done online things as well. And as you notice, it seems like at least what I've seen, and I'm sure you have as well, most of the people buying these action figures and toys at stores are pretty much adults anyways, and especially online stuff. It's like, well then, since you know we're the ones that are buying it, just make some more cool shit for us. You know we're into it. We like having this stuff. Everybody's got things they collect from sports memorabilia, or people that like action figures, anything. It's like, shoot, I think guaranteed if you said, hey, we'd bring a Sectars line, or look at this new stylized, upgraded Cops line. Because from that post I made, people would look like they were excited about the toys and the cartoon, but I bet you those figures would sell great. So
now, what is your take on Cops, Joe? Since we didn't get your real thoughts on that, like,
My
are you
take?
familiar with the toys, the cartoon, or any of it? Period.
Nope. That's why I was listening to you guys. I was like, I want to listen to what's going on, because it was like Cops was something I couldn't remember the year it came out, but I was probably done with cartoons at the time. What year was it?
88.
Okay, I think I was pretty much done with cartoons almost around that time. I was just getting out of it with He-Man and went right
chasing the chicks.
Chasing the chicks in the video games. That was it. It was from girls to games, and that's it. So, yeah, I missed out on a lot of those damn later series of cartoons and toys, unfortunately. So, I have to live through you guys doing them.
So, I guess it's like pros and cons. Joe was older to catch a lot of this stuff in its heyday, whereas me and Nathan caught a lot of it at the tail end, but we also caught Turtles, you know, the influx of Marvel superheroes and DC stuff at the time, you know, along with the Nintendo and Super Nintendo and all that stuff, too. So, there's an equal balance.
It's a balance. Yeah. There's one balance I can't bring because it's too old. It's like, hey, you guys remember playing in television and Odyssey? I got them systems. They were
I had
great.
Atari, though. You know, it wasn't made available to me. You know, I had an Atari just because it was given to my parents, I think, as like a wedding present or a Christmas gift or something.
This is what I hated about Pac-Man on Atari. You know,
it sucked and it looked bad and it played bad.
He turned this way, he turned that way, but the Atari version could not turn him this way or that way. So we always said he ate with his head, top of his head, and ate with the bottom of his butt, because when you eat the pellets.
Yeah, like it sucked, Joe. Like I'm sorry, everybody out there who might be older listeners, but Atari 2600 not that good.
Well, I mean,
not that good.
Haunted House.
It has its games. I'll give you that, but for the most part, like they're just shitty ports from like cashing in on what arcade machine was popular.
Well, they were, but I mean, you know, you were at. See, I guess I can speak from being somebody that right when it came out growing up, how I could talk about through our eyes. It was fascinating to see video games at home. So it was, even though Pac-Man didn't look exactly like the arcade, it was like, wow, I have Pac-Man at home. I have Donkey Kong. It was fun. And then unique games like Haunted House, there's Spider-Man. Hell, even though most people hated E.T., I actually enjoyed E.T.
Of course.
Yeah, and I did. I did like it. But I still was critical of always being confused. Like, he's not turning his head up and down. But I still played it and had fun with it. But no, it was, for its time, it was great. But then when Coleco came around, oh man, Coleco was like, it was like mind-blowing graphics. Like, oh my god, look at the Smurfs. They look so real. It's like, so yeah, I'm going through the evolution of it all. Everything.
My favorite Atari game is Warlords. That's my favorite one. I think that's a cool as shit game. Joe, do you know what I'm talking about?
Describe it.
No. All right. So it's basically four corners. You each kind of have a castle, and then there's like a ball that's going around, and you move the paddle to protect your castle, because if it hits it, it takes away a chunk.
You know what's funny? Never had Warlords. I mean, I wanted to make sure, because see, I had this game called Combat that I loved. There were these two tanks, and they would, like, there was things that would be blocking one side from the other, and all it was, you just had to shoot the other tank like X amount of times. Like, boom, you get hit, you win. But you could do these bank shots. You'd sneak around. Oh man, I love some combat.
Well, look up Warlord or Warlords. I can't remember. There's an S attached to that. Oh,
I know
Warlords. It's
just
got
how
an S
you described it. I know I didn't, but I'll look it up.
No, it's a cool multiplayer game. I like that a lot. I know they made.
I see it right now. I just looked it up, but nope, I never did play that. I love Kaboom. It was the one where it was
that was my favorite. Was Kaboom.
Wasn't it, man? You get that paddle, and I'm sure you're just like me, Tom. Man, your arm was going crazy with that little paddle.
Just catching those bombs in that water fountain, man. I was like, oh man, it's the greatest thing I've ever played.
It was fun as shit because remember it got quicker and quicker and quicker and quicker, and if it hit that bomb, it would go. So, Kaboom was the shit. So,
best game.
Damn.
I feel kind of bad now about my Atari comment. It's not all bad. It's just it does not age that well. I feel like you have to have that nostalgia.
Well, there's some games that aren't, even for Nintendo, Super Nintendo, that aren't going to age that well.
Oh, of course. I mean, most of those LJN games, that Wolverine game on Nintendo, complete ass. I'm probably going to stream that again because I beat that game as a kid. I bet there's no way in hell I'll be able to do it now.
All the more reason to stream it, and you can just sit there and it's like, man, this game's worth dick, man.
Yeah, but I'm not going to drink this time, so I don't get like angry because when I got up and left, I had to go pee, but everyone was just like, "Oh my god, what's going on?" Because I was like, "All right." I just sat my controller down and got up and just like left the room, and Emily's just sitting there like talking to the chat.
Exactly.
I just had to go take a piss. That's all that was.
Yeah, that's. We got to get a shirt that says this podcast's over. That's when we all losing that time, and Nathan had his moment. Oh, Tyler, we should go see it live. He was falling down. It was getting worse and worse, and then
I'll put it. All right, since Tyler doesn't know and he joined us late, I got to one of the levels on Donkey Kong Country. I went into it with 28 lives, and when I stopped the stream, I only had 4 left. I kept dying. Oh, and I'm like, this just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And I was drunk, but I'm just like, how this?
I love how Nathan is going to scream. He has to throw in. Well, I was drunk.
Yeah, it's got to be my cover.
Because Nathan can't ever admit that, you know what, if he can be one up by, someone like who doesn't play video games as much as he does. Oh, he was drunk. Completely diminishing anybody else. All
right, plan on this too. At some point, I'll bring Tyler on here. He'll come over to the house one afternoon, maybe while we're on break next week, and we don't have to work constantly.
We gotta play Final Fight, Turtles in Time. That way, Nathan's got help.
Yeah, he needs it.
Oh, great. But we'll go head to head in Ken Griffey.
Yeah,
we have to.
And Nathan will kick my ass like he does every time. But
no, this will be the one time. This will be the one time you actually probably are going to win somehow.
No, because the minute I get the slightest upright, Nathan's like, "No, son of a bitch," Because you're not any good at stuff. You lift weights, you take blueberry steroids. You're no good at video games.
That was the best when we were playing Ken Griffey that last time. I know I told this like a couple weeks ago. It's just funny because I was drunk and he's sitting there. He hits a home run. I'm like, oh no, here we go. And then I just start taking the lead and I just like look at him and I like smack his huge ass arm and I'm like, isn't it great? And he's like, yeah, that's great. I'm gonna kill you.
I do want to see him get upset live. So it'd be cool if like Tyler did start beating him in something. Just seeing Nathan lose his shit life, it'd be great. And Eric Amon, thank you for joining us late. You said you're here, but bam. Oh, who's drunk? It was Nathan. It was last night. It was a disaster, but he deleted the whole video because he didn't want any evidence of him losing his shit.
Hey, the people that were there got to see it, so it does exist in their minds.
In our minds, it was just fantastic. But we lost.
And Emily's giving me hell in the chat. Sure, blame the alcohol.
Yeah, because you are making it up.
I'm sure she's laughing at everything she says to you too, with that Emily laugh that she does. Either that or she's just making a sad face. I almost wonder if she was making that sad face, while Nathan's playing. She just.
No, she was just, the chat's like, it's all right, man, it's all right, and Joe's just like, aha, you suck, and then she kept, because she was reading the chat, she was like, oh, hey, that guy says you suck. I'm like, oh yeah, Joe, because the plan was I was just gonna ignore him the whole time. I even told her, I was like, don't even read anything that he puts in the chat. We'll just pretend that he's not there, and we'll acknowledge everybody else.
And Tyler, here's the thing, even within joking, but yes, Eric, this is a Bloodsport short. But anyways, I think that even though he knows I'm messing with him because I was just joking, it's just the ribbon we give each other. I think psychologically I was getting in his head. It got to me. Yep, he was drunk. He screwed up. Like I said, when I seen him die once, I was like, The second one, like, After the third, I knew he was done. I was like, he's not coming back from this. And when I started doing these ribbons, it might get in his head. So he was just pissed from dying. These ribs were getting on his nerves. He was drunk. Yep. It was a big bomb.
It broke me. It really, it broke me.
Both of you guys are susceptible to this stuff. Like, both you guys are so easily tortured. Like, we start bringing up straight to video, Steven Seagal, Joe's out of there. You start pointing out Nathan's flaws in video games, Nathan's out of there. You guys have got very public kryptonite between the two of you guys. I mean, you
Yeah,
guys
but
are so easily manipulated and exploited. Like, thank God you guys have me.
Yeah,
I mean,
and we
you
talked about
guys.
you before you got on. We were talking
Oh,
about
I'm
you.
sure that you did.
No, we said, well, Nathan had his explosion. I had mine. I said, Tyler didn't really have an explosion, but Tyler did have his moment live where you seen his dreams and everything, his hopes just got crushed when Robbie London was talking about Diamond Ray disappearance. And you were just so damn into that episode. Obviously, you love Diamond Ray disappearance, but when he was speaking about, I didn't really like it, you could just see in your eyes, like, son of a bitch.
Well, he'd already told me in private too that he wasn't a big fan of it. But I'm like,
but you kept going. You kept singing.
There, bud.
But yeah, you kept going.
Trying to convince him this entire time. You know what? After all these years, you're gonna like it now because I like it, and what I like, you have to like.
And Tyler was like, and fans, it's celebrated by fans. It's really loved. And he was like, yeah, I still really like it. And it just
I have a meltdown. All right, Robert, this podcast.
No, it wasn't a meltdown, but it was a heartbroken meltdown. Like I said, you kept your cool. You kept your cool, but it was in your eyes. We could see it.
That does not compare to what you two have done publicly.
You did good. I give it to you. You didn't lose it like me and Nathan did, but you can just see it broken in your eyes.
Exposed as like.
Hey, you know what? You know what? I was drunk. What's Joe's excuse?
I'm just an angry
Joe
person.
had sand in his vagina. He was just really upset that day.
No, not
the air conditioning.
I am hungry. I'm a person that, yeah, if I start to lose it, I hate it because I told you I don't like getting mad. That's why I laugh all the time, even when I'm not really laughing. And
how are we supposed to know that Joe is, like, even though we know you'll do that, you son of a bitch, how do we know to, like, Joe's like, okay, Joe's
we just have to take our chances. But see, I shut the stream off before something bad happened because I was at a point where I could have just taken this controller and I probably would have just slammed it right into the monitor. That's how mad I was. I was just frustrated at myself. I'm like, how is this happening? Yeah, like I know what I need to do, and yet like I'm hitting the buttons and nothing. I'm just losing it.
It was bad.
It was bad. It was terrible.
Yeah, I disguise it well, and so much to where you're right. Sometimes I don't even know. I was like, am I really laughing at this? It just, I guess.
No, your tone of voice changes when we're like, okay, Joe's like, he's like, okay, they're getting to me here. Just scoot the issue. Just, look, or just trying to change.
Oh, look, there's King Coupon.
Yeah.
Right, but yeah, I always try to be positive, but this has been awesome, and I'm glad everybody in the chat room joined.
How do we promote this? Like, how do we promote this podcast?
Talking Toys and Christmas Mornings. That's what Nathan labeled it as.
Yeah, okay. We'll just take some collages of toys and like I don't know. Yeah, you know what? Maybe I'll dig up
Tyler's picture and your picture where you're talking.
Yeah,
but I don't know where I don't know where that picture's at though. Like it's somewhere.
Well, Nathan, find yours if you can at least.
Yeah, I got all those ones as a kid. You remember the ones that I posted, Tyler, where I like open up and it's Ecto 1 and my face is just like and then like the paper's like flying out of my hand.
I don't remember that picture.
I don't remember that. God,
I wasn't in it, so I don't remember it.
Oh yeah, that sounds about right.
Well, Nathan, I do want to wrap us up and tell everybody what to do.
Joe's hungry.
I am actually getting hungry, and I got to get new headphones because these ones were having an issue. So I got to go get my dollar ones at the Dollar Tree.
Yeah, I feel bad for anyone that like downloads the audio because they're just gonna hear like.
Sorry.
And
I've been trying to stay still, but I can't. You know.
Joe. It's all good, man. Yeah. They're gonna love it anyway. We love you for who you are, Joe.
Well, thanks a lot. And tell them to come back tonight so they can watch Fans of Power. We'll be doing a commentary of Tyler's choosing on an episode. We'll do a
Disappearing Dragons. That is our selection for tonight.
There we go. We're doing Disappearing Dragons. Nathan is going to choose a mini comic discussion. And
I'm going to let Tyler throw it out, and then I'll pick from that. Because you guys have done so many. You do one that we haven't done.
But we haven't done one with you. So go ahead. I mean, one particular one. So you pick anyone, and then I might
Tyler will talk.
Shut up. And then I might talk about some of the random things of happening in the news of Masters and other things.
What the hell's going on currently with He-Man? Right? Is there some way to work in the word Funko? Is that what it is?
I'll figure out something tonight. I'll start off the show different. So Nathan, not to be mean, you don't have to be a part of the beginning of the show. You can come in later.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, we'll do our random talking and stuff like that, do a commentary, and then at the end we can do the mini comic. But yeah, Nathan, yeah.
And it gives me plenty of time to get some oxygen in before I hop in here, and Tyler sucks all of it away from everybody.
Exactly.
I appreciate that. I have to be well fed. The ego just is become a beast that cannot be fed here, people.
This podcast is sponsored by Pitbull Clothing Company.
That's right. So
because you were wearing a red one yesterday for Capes and Commentaries, right?
Yeah.
I think you were.
Yeah.
How many of those do you have?
I got quite a few, but and then I got like the standard, just like really soft, kind of neon colored like Y-backs. But I used to have a lot more of these Pitbull ones, but I wore them so much, so I had to repurchase a couple of them. I got a black one, I got a red one, I got 2 white ones.
You know, that should be a video that we need to do for the channel. I'll come over and film. You pull out all of your tank tops, all of them, and lay them out on your bed, and we'll just film them all. It's like,
well, the only way people can look at it is Joe just takes a random picture and just slaps. Hey, look, Laser Power He-Man. Check out this week's episode, because no one's going to give a shit about me looking at all my tank tops here. But Joe slaps a picture of Mad Balls, on there, like, oh, no way, man! I got to check this out. Oh my god!
And you know what's weird, Tyler? Is as for your Cops episode, because I was like, I'm gonna promote it for them guys, because I want them to start getting a lot.
It's the best, the highest viewed episode of Capes and Commentaries that we've ever done.
Here's how
aside
I did
from
it,
Spider-Man's Amazing Friend.
Oh yeah,
that was nuts. So was the Rambo one that you guys did. I was like,
Joe wasn't even on that one.
Yeah,
I imagine most of those clicks are just like, oh, is this the full episode? Oh, it's not. Turn it off.
Yeah, it's probably all that it is. They
Still counts.
What the hell?
I'll take it.
Well, this is what I did for your Cops episode, because like I told you, for whatever reason, when I promote even any of the podcasts, include Fans of Power, if I just do it with a link, it's like almost nobody looks. It's like I have to put a picture. So I thought, okay, I'm going to put a picture, but I'm going to do something different. I don't know how many people are going to comment on either cartoon talk about it or toy thing, but when you guys were talking about the backs of the art, and I looked at that on eBay, I seen one of the figures, so like, that is some cool-ass looking art. So I just screen capped that, advertised that, and then bam, it went in.
But that's what you're known for. You're known for toys, though. People think Joe Martin, they think toys, and that's it.
Well, there was people talking about the cartoon as well, and that's...
Well, maybe, but I kind of feel like that's Joe's bread and butter. Like, Joe
But I didn't even show the figures.
Action figures.
And that's the thing. Action figures are art. And I did love the art on the back of that. I was like, I want to share that art because it looked cool as hell. And wow, it got a ton of shit.
It blew up.
Tops. Yeah,
14 shares, 47 comments, 328 reactions.
To the Capes and Commentaries. I saw that too. Like Joe calls it Beyond Retro. Really,
did I call it Beyond Retro?
Yeah.
Whatever. Hey, whatever.
Hey, wait, if we have to mislabel ourselves just to get some damn attention, whatever if we have to whore ourselves out, whatever we got to do.
Damn it! I didn't know that. I'd like to correct that then. Okay.
Dude, it whatever works. Do we have to call that Beyond Retro as well?
Yeah, we appreciate that.
We can send Joe like Christmas coupons from his local McDonald's as a stocking stuffer to get Joe to promote the podcast. Whatever we got to do.
I'm actually changing it right now. I don't like making.
Well, what you guys sending me this week? Oh, nothing. All right. Well, there goes your show, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, what is it? You say you guys aren't doing a podcast this week? Wow. Well.
There, I just edited. I can't have that happen. I feel like an idiot. Yep, there's 19 shares and 203 likes and stuff and 44 comments. They enjoy your episode. So there, I shared it. There, I fixed it.
Unbelievable.
All right, go ahead.
Well, without further ado, Joe is starving and he's got to.
So am I.
Yeah, I'm getting kind of hungry too. And Tyler and I are actually gonna go hunt for some toys. And whatever else we can get our hands on.
Yeah,
check and see.
I'm going to go and be reminded what I can't afford.
Wait, what?
2 antique malls in Whitfield, about 40 minutes away from us. They got classic comic books, lunch boxes, action figures, and stuff I can't afford right now because it's Christmas.
You gave away the location, you rat bastard.
There is nobody in our vicinity that's going to.
You don't know that. Actually, here's the cool thing. I was in Emily and I were in Walmart last night and ran into this guy that we used to work with. Well, I barely worked with him. Emily worked with him a little bit at my old place of employment. And he's like, "Oh, hey, how's it going?" Blah blah blah, small talk. And then before he left, he was like, "Hey, man, I like the podcast." I was like, "That's awesome."
Holy hell!
Yeah. So people are seeing it. People that live near us giving away our spots, man.
They're not gonna. They don't know where it's at.
They're gonna go buy everything.
Yeah, but they're
going to buy. Then what am I going to be able to buy, Tyler?
They're going to buy starting lineup figures because you say they ain't worth dick. So they think.
What about me, Tyler? What about Nathan?
What about Nathan?
What about Raven?
One of on his Raven rants.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, thanks to all you guys that popped in live. We actually had at one point, I think there were 11, 12 people in here. So that's a good turnout for us. I mean, it's not fans of power numbers.
Everyone know what we're doing.
Yeah. Yeah. Joe, you all right?
No, it's just something in my eye.
Oh, something in his eye. All right, but thanks to you guys for joining us live. If you are new to the channel, make sure you hit subscribe, ring the bells to get notified when we go live, especially when I do these video game live streams that I'm not any good at. Follow all the links down below. Check out beyondretropodcast.com. Download the audio at Podbean and iTunes. I want to encourage you guys that are coming from iTunes and Podbean, give us a search on YouTube and give us a subscribe. Check out Fans of Power, the He-Man and the Master Universe podcast, hosted by Joe Amato and Tyler Baker. You can find that at youtube.com/Fans of Power podcast. Buy his t-shirts. Check out his customs. Anybody got anything?
Send him food.
Send him food. Anyone got anything for next week kind of floating around in their head?
That's the last episode before Christmas.
It's the last episode before Christmas, but it's also the beginning of when Tyler and I have our little holiday vacation break from work. So you guys be on the lookout for
like a bonus episode or something.
Yeah. Joe, I know that if you're still up for it, we're going to do a commentary on the little short Tree Venge, which is awesome. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, sure. I'll be in touch.
Yeah, and everybody in the chat room, anybody listening live, if you're friends with Nathan on Facebook, I mean, you can find him at Nathan Kennedy, but the reason I'm saying that is you got to give him shit. You got to let him know to play some Batman Returns to stream this live. We got to see what he can do.
Joe, did I not get enough of this from you yesterday? Just all day, relentless. I'm trying to shop and buy gifts for people, and I my phone is just going off. Joe Amato, hey, you can stream, right?
Do this. He's scared to stream Batman Returns.
I am.
So that's all right. Well, I'll Joe sends it to you. You send it to me. I send it to Joe. It's like a trifecta of just constant ball busting.
Exactly.
You know, it's just a circle. You know.
So
don't worry. Joe's going to get his balls busted here tonight on Fans of Power. So
Joe,
sure, I will.
Wait, what's going? What was the oh never mind thing? What was that all about?
I have no idea what he's talking about.
I don't either.
I can say I had a fat head. That's probably what it was.
So remember, tell Nathan.
Forrest Server, is that you?
I just want to see this. I want to see you play this. So everybody, let him know to play some Batman Returns. I just want to see him stream it live. It's a fantastic game. I don't know why he doesn't want to play it. It's one of the best Batman games they made. It's Batman.
Because I've never beaten it, and I feel like I'm just gonna it's gonna be relentless.
That game? God.
I don't. Well,
there is nothing more entertaining than hearing Nathan get like really in a cussing frenzy when he's playing video games because it makes it entertaining. That's why I want to watch it.
And that'll be fun. And you know what? Do it when Tyler's there so he can rib you live. You know, just giving you shit as you're doing terrible in that game. Yeah, do it, please. Okay, that's it.
All right. All right. Joe has decided that the podcast is over now. So until then, we will see you guys next week. Thanks, everybody, for joining us.